All right, I want to thank everyone for coming out today. I am Jess Beatty, the Director of Student Services here in Holliston, and we are trying something new today. Hi, Ryan. And then you're next. Okay? Great. I want to give a big thank you to all of our students who are in the crowd today. They are the heart and soul of why we're doing this Community Bridge project. And did an excellent job serving our guests coffee and some light breakfast and greeting them at the door and handing out a beautiful flyer that was created by everyone that is part of this project. So I wanted to start by grounding us in the Holliston Public Schools mission statement, which is that we work to collaboratively create a safe and inclusive environment that empowers all learners through innovative teaching and learning to be lifelong active global citizens. And I say that because we have invited our guests from the community, business owners and organizational owners, because we are looking to partner with you to bring this mission alive in our community. We are looking, as we work together with the students here, we have been teaching them functional academic skills, functional social skills, and we're really looking at how we can bridge between schools and the community to provide a more inclusive environment where they're able to take those skills learned in your places of employment or organizations and put them into practice as lifelong employees in Holliston. So I cannot take any of the credit of this project. We have two wonderful educators here that are going to do much more of the talking, but we have Laura Ryan, who is one of our occupational therapists, and we have Victoria Briggs, who's one of our BCBAs, which is a board-certified behavior analyst. And they brought this initiative to me over a year ago and really excited about it and wanted to create this opportunity. And they're going to talk to you about how we can support you while you partner with us, hopefully, in giving students the opportunity to be in your locations. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to them, and then we're going to end with some really cool vignettes of both business owners that have stepped the toe in the water with us a little bit, so you can hear from them their perspective on how things are going, and also from some of our students on what it's like to be out in the workforce.
So Laura and I are going to keep here. So the purpose of this project is to sort of bridge real-life, community-based, multi-tiered, inclusive social and vocational experiences for the students of Holliston through meaningful experiences. So focused on student interests, activities that the students may be interested in doing, either as an after-school leisure activity or a vocational experience, and making sure that we can use the expertise that we have in school, the strategies that we've taught our kids in school, and being able to bridge that gap into any type of community activity that they want to participate in.
So the vocational experiences that we're looking for are through the partnership with Holliston businesses, and as Victoria just mentioned, are centered around individual student strengths and interests. And our ultimate goal is to find them a meaningful job that they enjoy and that they're good at, and that they may continue into adulthood. We also broadened this program out. I tend to look at it more vocational because that's sort of, as an OT, sort of my lens, but also equally important are social experiences. So partnering with programs or small little businesses such as art studios, Studio on the Hill, and some of the smaller interest-based programs that happen in Holliston. In short, the vision of Community Bridges is to bring community inclusivity and increased quality of life for each and every citizen of Holliston. So our short-term goals for this program and our long-term goals are, the short term is to support the creation of new relationships and opportunities for the students and the community organizations of Holliston. And as I mentioned earlier, our long-term ultimate goal is to have full access to everything that Holliston offers for leisure activities and paid jobs and social opportunities, again, within Holliston.
So we just wanted to share what having these partnerships, what they could do to impact our students and then impact our community at large. And you're going to get to hear from some of our students as we get into the presentation, which is way more exciting than listening to me. But how this partnership could impact our students is better understanding and supporting neurodiversity, creating a fully inclusive Holliston community, which is, that long-term goal, right? Equal access for students of all neuro profiles, building skills for future employment opportunities, and again, paid employment within the Holliston community, and then peer modeling, right? Those peer-to-peer relationships for students and children and adults of all neurotypes. And then how your partnership could impact or these partnerships could impact the community at large. That's Laura, sorry. Oh, okay, sorry.
I know my L's and my B's.
Strengthen our connections as a community, right? Increase economic opportunities due to a more diverse customer base. So you can increase that customer base by, including people of all neurotypes. That can be often a draw for businesses. Increase creativity and innovation, and better fill for a variety of jobs within local businesses. And research shows that the mutual benefits of neurodiverse individuals and communities is phenomenal. The more inclusive a community is, the happier the community is, the more cohesive it is as a whole.
So this is a slide with our current partnerships, and some of you are here today, and we want to take a moment to thank you for opening your organization up to our students. We've had really amazing, that's downtown Holliston, that's where we know and love, right, Ryan? So these are some amazing places that we've had the pleasure of partnering with in the past. So what we offer, Mike,
so I'll talk through the first bullet
okay, sure.
on this one. So education, so this is really the meat and potatoes of what we wanted to share today is what we want to offer the community is education and training directly to your business or organization to maximize inclusion. So that could look like a variety of things. I'll talk about it from one lens, and then Laura's going to expand on it from her lens. But for instance, if you have a child that signs up, let's say, to take a class or participate in a sports activity or or a leisure activity or applies for a job, you can reach out to us and we can help bridge any gaps in skill, whether that be creating environmental accommodations, visual accommodations, language accommodations. And if I don't know the answer as to how to best help you, Laura and I are lucky because we have all the expertise of the Holliston Public Schools staff behind us, where we can reach out and talk to a speech and language pathologist and be like, so this is what's going on. What do you think you could recommend here? And these are things that I've done and Laura's done on a smaller, more individualized scale, right? I've had different businesses reach out to me, Holliston Parks and Rec, Inspirations Dance Studio, different things places that reach out and say, I have one of your students and we got permission from the parent, can you help me work through this problem? But this could be on a broader scale where businesses could reach out to us and say, here's something that we want to troubleshoot, here's a student who really wants to access our services or our classes or have a job here. How can you help, make this environment as successful for the student as possible?
I think to build on that is looking at your, thinking of it from a vocational perspective, looking at your business and how your business can lend some availability to hiring students from Holliston High School. There are often jobs in businesses that our students are very excited to complete that you could take off your plate and then give to a student intern instead. What's really nice about this time is that neurodiverse workers are increasing in numbers, and a lot of big companies are now exploring this untapped workforce that the neurodiverse population brings to the table. Victoria mentioned earlier on an earlier slide about innovation and creativity. Often neurodiverse workers think of things that I know from personal experience that I would never have thought of. Different ways of doing things, different ways of looking at things. And so bringing a neurodiverse worker to your program or to your business can probably grow your business in ways that perhaps you hadn't thought of. Tips and resources on how to support neurodivergent students. Victoria mentioned that we have a breadth of knowledge that we can offer. And then there's also, because this culture is changing, there's a lot of opportunities in education online that we can also offer, giving you tips. For example, Wells Fargo now has a program, a hiring program for neurodivergent workers, and they're a wealth of knowledge when it comes to supporting all employees. On-site direct job coaching during school hours. This is something that we can very easily offer. We would start by orienting the student at school with the tasks that they're being asked to do at your business so that they have some practice in a familiar setting. During that time, we would determine what they need for accommodations and how we can make sure that they're successful and you're also feeling success in your business. And then someone would accompany that student to the business and stay with them to apply all of the things that they learned in the school setting in the real setting at your company. The goal is to fade the job coaching. We would never go away, and it would be a conversation that was held between the student, the job coach, and the employer. But because we're fostering independence and hope that this would grow into something a little bit more eventually, it's important to give the student space as they're gaining independence. One last thing I wanted to mention is how we go about deciding what would be a mutually beneficial partnership. And there are documents that we use that help us determine the student's strengths, and then they give direct recommendations as to what jobs that student would be best at. And so there's some real thought that goes into matching a student with a job site because we want it to be successful for everyone. Here are some pictures of some of the community places that have hosted our students. And then I'll be able to do student and community feedback.
So I just gathered a few quotes from some of our students. So this one is from a couple of students who dance at Inspire Dance Academy. I like dancing on stage. I like performing. It's new to me this year, and I don't always understand the steps. The teacher, Miss Megan, is nice and helpful. It is fun. We get to hold hands and dance, and doing it as best friends is really fun. So this is a couple of neurodivergent teens who dance at Inspire Dance Academy right in town. Here's another elementary age student who shared his experience at Prana and being part of the performances at Prana. I like to do the plays at Prana. I like the music part. I like to sing the music and be on stage. And then we have Sam, who works at TC Scoops in town, and she gave me a quote yesterday. She said, and she chose the photo as well, "It makes me happy. I stack cones. I get TC Scoops ready to open. I pull out the table and chairs. At the end, I scoop and eat ice cream." And Tina is nice.
We also have a couple of videos that we've gathered to hear in their own words, a community member and a student here at Holliston High School. So this is Mark Frank. He is the director of Holliston Parks and Rec.
Hi, I'm Mark Frank from the Holliston Parks and Recreation Department. Over the past 10 years, I've had the pleasure of working with a number of interns from the Holliston Public School system with excellent results. We've had students take on an array of tasks and challenges, and we've enjoyed watching them learn and grow while helping our department achieve our goals of providing safe and engaging programming and spaces to our community. We've had interns work on programming initiatives, both directly with students, as well as writing curriculum for new camp offerings. We've had interns help us with office tasks and social media engagement and much more. We're grateful to the Holliston Public Schools for giving us the opportunity to work with this exceptional group of young students, and we hope that we've helped you as much as you've helped us.
And then we have one more video of another one of our helper attendees today talking about one of his internships.
Tommy, tell us some things you like about having a job.
So one thing I like is that you get to learn how to work at a real job. I like that you get to learn how to work at a real job, and I also like that it's some time that you're not doing regular schoolwork. I like, so like for example, I don't want to be doing English and math all day. I want to be doing other stuff. I also like the idea that we get to learn a lot of important skills, like I got to learn how to clean a lot of important areas at Duncan. I also got to learn how they do their work. In my job at Duncan, I would get on the Metro West bus at 6 and then go to Dunkin' Donuts. Then I would go and clean the tables, chairs, and the doors. Sometimes though there would be other people there. Like one time, the last day there was a meeting, so we had to kind of skip part of our work, but it was still a good day. And there's a lot of distractions, but you gotta get used to that. Anything else?
I think that's good.
Yes.
And then our last part of our presentation is we're going to have a student come up and share a book that he wrote about why he loved living in Holliston. So I'm going to let
some of the things I love about living in Holliston. My name is Ryan. I am going to share some of the things I like about Holliston. I love to get ice cream at TC Scoops. My favorite is chocolate shake. I love to walk on the rail trail with Mom. I love to go to Coffee Haven Mrs. Wilder. I love to go to Coffee Haven. Coffee Haven. And get chocolate milk. I like to sit in a booth with Mrs. Wilder. I am in 8th grade here at Robert Adams Middle School. My favorite thing about school is Steve, naughty, math. I love to do the billings for our coffee shop. Play on our unified basketball team. My favorite thing about playing basketball is riding the bus to different towns. I like it when people clap for me on the basketball court. The end.
Great job, Ryan. You're going to close with me. So we want to thank everybody for coming. I hope that this is great information for you to consider as we hope to partner with more community members. You can reach out to us. The information is in the flyer that you received. This will be up on HCAT, so you can watch us all over again. But we want to thank you for coming and hope you have a good rest of your day.
And feel free to take some food. If you need more coffee, let the kids know, and you're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.